Welcome back. Meir Jafetinfar was born in Iran, but now lives in Israel. He's a top expert on the Iran threat, and he joined us in Jerusalem to discuss the growing pressure on the Iranian regime from without and from within. Folks, this could be a very important development, not only for the Iranian people, but for Israel and America. Take a look.
One thing I would have to say for your government, for the people of the United States, is that you have to watch out what they will try to do before the re-election of President Trump. They don't want President Trump to be elected. So the Iranian regime doesn't want.
And that's because he has been strong.
They resent him first and foremost for walking out of the Iranian nuclear deal, and then it was the maximum pressure. So I think they could, for example, we are very likely to see a big push to get U.S. forces out of Iraq in order to make President Trump look like a failure.
Which would mean terror attacks by Iranian-backed militias against...
Well, actually, to be honest with you, it'd probably be political first and foremost. Because the killing of Qasem Soleimani, you guys changed the rules of the game.
Wow, man. But, key point, Meir, as you said, the strategy remains the same, right? That Soleimani was sort of the architect of it. Yemen, Lebanon, Iraq, Syria, surrounding Israel and squeezing Israel remains the same, right?
Look at what they're doing to the Syrian people. The regime that Qasem Soleimani kept alive from 2011 to 2015, and then he brought Putin, that regime has killed, gassed, murdered, tortured to death, something like 500,000 people. And they had nothing to do with Israel. Look, the Iranian regime sees its interest in the region not just to pressure Israel, but to expand its influence and to expand its economic interest. It has economic interests in Syria, for example. But we in Israel, we can take care of ourselves. And I say that with lots of modesty. It's not easy. We're not shy to get in the ring, but we hope to live in peace with everybody. I'm an Iranian Israeli. I'm very proud of my Iranian heritage. I know that majority of the people of Iran don't want war with the state of Israel. They may disagree with some of our policies, but that's okay. Some of our friends disagree with our policies.
Right.
But what I can tell you is that overwhelming majority of people of Iran are against the Iranian regime policy of antagonizing regional countries. They want the regime and the government to look inwards because Iran faces some very, very big challenges.
Yeah, and one of those challenges, Meir, is the protests in the streets. We see pretty major protests right now in Iran against the regime, between sanctions having an effect, people in the streets. The regime seems to have its back against the wall a little bit right now. How effective can these protests be? And could we eventually see regime change from within inside Iran?
Those demonstrations, they are the symptom, they're not the cause. The cause, it's the drought. Iran faces one of the worst droughts in its contemporary history. Parts of southern Tehran are literally sinking. Literally, the ground is sinking. In Tehran, there are sinkholes appearing every month. There's a major problem of pollution in Tehran because they're using mazout, which is something you use like not very refined oil to produce energy.
Okay.
The people are very angry. They're looking at a regime which is not managing the country, a regime because of its mismanagement and its corruption is basically killing people, and it's a regime that lies to the people of Iran. We saw in the recent Ukrainian air crash. There was recently Sunni imams from Saudi Arabia going to Auschwitz.
Yeah.
I hope soon to see Iranian Shia imams going there. Unfortunately for now, Ayatollah Khamenei is one of the world's foremost Holocaust deniers.
Up next, my final thoughts on Israel's ultimate weapon in its conflict with Iran. Find out what it is after the break. Don't move.